Hello everyone, I'm Greg Power from Handmade in Blighty and Blighty Bushcraft, and welcome to another one of our book reviews. If this is your first time with us, please go back to the first review that we did on Ben Law's book The Woodland Year, and there I explain why I believe books are so important for us. If you can hear a tippy tappy in the background, that's Sam again, he's come to say hello. Right, this is going to be a bit of a different book review this time, because I want to show you how I use these books to go and identify flowers out there in the great outdoors. And the books I'm going to talk about here are generally my go-to books. This is where I start off, and then I can branch out into other aspects of their history and their uses and the like. So without further ado, here they are. The first book is Reader's Digest Wild Britain series, and it's on wildflowers. Then I'll go on to the Collins Complete Guide to British Wildflowers, and Collins is such a well-trusted company when it comes to these types of books. And then finally, this is a book called A Modern Herbal by Maud Grieve, and this gives us a real insight on how our plants that we've identified can be used. So, how do we go about it? I'm ex-military, and in the military they like to keep things simple, and it's something that's stuck with me, and that's what I like to do as well. So the reason why this book resonates with me so well is because of its simplicity. Here you can see the different colours, and this is the colour guide, and that colour is all about the flower of the particular plant. So you don't have to be an expert botanist or anything like that. You can go and identify a flower simply by its colour. So let's have a look. This time of year, this is spring that we're talking about, or we're talking within the beginnings of spring, and a lovely plant called wild garlic or ramson is just starting to peek through now. And here you have a lovely hand-drawn picture, an explanation up here of what it is, where it grows, and the time of year it can be found. You can see here that I've put some of my own little notes in there. If you don't like using pencil within your own book, don't forget this is your book, this is your knowledge that you're trying to build up here. If you don't like writing in it, you can use these little sticky tabs and stuff like that. They're really good as well. So ramsons, so it's easily identifiable because of its smell, etc, etc, but just in case you weren't able to identify that, I'd go to this particular book here, the Collins Complete Guide to British Wildflowers. Now this doesn't put our flowers into colour codes. It goes by families, daisy family, rose family and the like. However, once we've got a suggested name, and that's what it is from this book, a suggested name, we can cross-reference it with this one. And the reason why we like to cross-reference is so you're getting really good identification, because if you're going to start popping things in your mouth and eating them, you want to know that the identification is absolutely tip-top. So we go to the index. This index is mixed up with scientific names as well as the common names, and it's telling us to go to page 222, where we have ramsons, and this is a part of the lily family. And there we have a lovely picture of the ramsons there, and a little blurb on it here. So we can cross-reference a hand-drawn picture to a good photograph. Now on that note, on photos and the like, what I want to discuss here is you always take your books to the plant. You never do it the other way around, because if you do that, you're killing it. You'll probably be breaking the law, and you're taking a resource away from Mother Nature, and you're also taking someone else's enjoyment away. So leave the plant in situ. If you can't take your books out because it's a horrible day, take a photograph. Make sure it's a good photo so you can identify properly, but take that photograph. Leave the plant in situ, leave it alone. Okay, so we've got a good identification there of our Ramson. So we all know it smells like garlic. So what else can it be used for? And this is why I like to go to this as a starting point for me, because Mrs. Grieve goes into so much detail. It's, as you can see, it's a large book, very few illustrations. It's all about the text in this one, and it goes through medicinal uses, actual recipes. You've got folklore in here and all the rest of it. So it's a real good springboard into this other world of reference here. You can start it off from here. So we've identified our Ramson. Let's go to, as you can see, she's done her index differently. She does country names or common names and then into the scientific names. But it's already told me to go to 343 to the garlic family. And here we have the garlic. This is page 342. So on 343 we have Ramsons. Grows in woods and has a very acrid taste and smell, but also has very small bulbs which would hardly render it of any practical use. This is where this is just reference. I fall out with Mrs. Grieve over this because I think Ramsons can be used and can be used really, really well. I've just read here that it's in 1722 there was a 4 thieves vinegar was created with this, basically distilling garlic, your wild garlic, your Ramsons, with vinegar and creating this lovely fragrant dressing for different foodstuffs. And it was originated, it said, with 4 thieves who confessed that whilst protected by the liberal use of this vinegar, they were able to go about their thievery during the time of the plague, and it stopped them from contracting it. Isn't that great? A little bit of history, a little bit of folklore, some really good advice, all from this book. So that's your reference book there. So we were able to, by the colour of the plant, find a Ramson, this one, cross-reference it with a good photograph here, and then from there, because we've got a name and we've identified it correctly, then we can go and have a look at its history, how it's been used for us, and how we can use it in our own world, if you like. And we, Jessie and I, we love to use Ramsons for our own pesto. We got that particular recipe from another absolutely great book called Hedgerow Medicine, and we'll talk about this book in our next review. Until next time, see you later.